Qatar Airways executive says invasive gynecological examinations of passengers won't be repeated.
Here's a summary of the article.
Canberra, Australia. A senior Qatar Airways executive told an Australian Senate inquiry on Wednesday there would be no repeat of an incident at Doha's International Airport in 2020 in which female passengers were subjected to invasive gynecological examinations. Australian Transport Minister Catherine King said 3 weeks ago that the examinations of 13 Australian women who had boarded a Qatar Airways plane to Sydney were a factor in her decision in July to refuse the Qatar government-owned airline additional flights to Australia. Qatar Airways Senior Vice President Matt Rouse described the incident, which occurred when authorities were looking for the mother of a newborn baby found abandoned in a Hamad International Airport trash can, as a one-off incident, a very extreme incident. Qatar Airways provided no response to their complaints and offered no apology, the women said. They wrote to Catherine King through their lawyer in June urging that Qatar Airways not be allowed to double its number of Australian services from the current 28 flights per week. It is our strong belief that Qatar Airways is not fit to carry passengers around the globe, let alone to major Australian airports, they wrote. Vanessa Hudson, who became Qantas chief executive this month, told the committee the airline made a submission to the government last October saying that the international aviation market needed to fully recover from the pandemic before Qatar Airways was given more Australian services.
This post received a score of 2,900, with an upvote ratio of 97%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Article continues.
I was extremely confused why the fuck this would happen at all. It was because of this. The article goes on to describe that no English was spoken to the English-speaking women. Therefore they had no idea where they were going or WTF was happening. All women were pulled off the plane. Even women, but not all, over childbearing age were examined. What a way to go about justice.
So they found an abandoned newborn and thought, let's look at every single woman's vagina to see which shows signs of birth?
Below is a follow-up article. Frankly, the articles are full of contradiction. No English spoken, English was spoken, etc. Apparently the birth mother was Asian. Edit. The actual people related to the childbirth have been identified. That part is clear. What isn't is the how they went about solving the problem. Apparently women across 18 different flights were searched. What's bizarre is how radically the actual number of women inspected changes from article to article.
Greater than. We've had nothing like it previously in our history and we're completely committed to ensuring nothing like this ever happens again. Rouse told the committee. Right.
Under these particular, and unusual, circumstances I would guess. Qatar has been doing these kinds of searches routinely for years but on people who aren't going to go to the media over it, and usually on suspicion of drugs possession.
Holy shit. What an absolute dystopian nightmare.
We promise to not rape our paying customers ever again.
Well, maybe still the economy class ones, but first class will now get a quick grope at worst.
Hot take, but raping your paying customers is bad business.
I see you read my MBA thesis.
Promises from the same guys who said that we could drink at the World Cup and they were forward-thinking nation? No.
One look at my vagina and I promise you'll never do that again.
When this story broke, my GF and I had just returned from an overnight stay in Doha on the way back from Aus. Those poor ladies. I hope they get a decent payout out of it. Not sure how taking on a government-backed enterprise goes over in Qatar. Hope they get rich.
They'll get nothing. Nor is Qatar offering anything.
Greater than Rouse said Qatar was surprised and shocked that Australia had rejected without explanation its application for additional services to Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane and Perth, which was made on August 22, 2022. Only a highly paid professional could say such with a straight face.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.